Good morning. Hi. Good morning again. Thank you very much for showing up again today. Let's see. When we came in this morning, there was a break-in in the building. You know, most people here know it. That's why the police was out there. So luckily, everything is fine. Only one computer apparently was stolen. And the computer was brand new. It came in yesterday, so that's good. There was nothing in it. So it wasn't. So that's why if you saw the police out there, that's what it was. Let's see. We have a couple of updates. Do you want to talk about maybe graduate studies, what updates we are going to have? And let's go from there.
Good morning. I'm Mike Warnock, and as you may recall, if you were with us last month, I said a little bit about postdocs and some things that were changing in regard to the federal government and their employment and salary standards. And I said we would have someone here who could answer questions better than I could this month. And we do. We have Tracy Pereira. Okay. And Tracy, come on up and take it away.
Questions. I'm supposedly the expert. We'll see what I can tell you. You are familiar with the Fair Labor Standards Act change that is taking place December 1st? Yes, maybe. So the Department of Labor is changing the threshold for exempt and non-exempt to a weekly standard of $913. I can't remember the exact amount. But we were concerned that this would affect a lot of postdocs, and it may affect some. That was our concern. 1st of October, around the first week in October, the university negotiated a new contract with the PX union that represents our postdocs. So now we have a new agreement that has a new compensation article, which raises all of our postdoc salaries effective 12/1 to above the threshold. It actually brings it up. We're still following the NIH experience-based scale, but instead of starting them at step 0, we're going to be starting all our initial postdocs at step 2. And then we'll go up from 2 to 7, I guess it is, for the 5 steps. There'll be more on that coming out in the next week or so, but that eliminates a lot of our issues with the exempt, non-exempt status. So most of our postdocs will go above the exempt threshold. So that takes care of most of them. However, and that's our full-time postdocs, and the contract requires that they are 100% time. The exception would be part-time. So the exempt, non-exempt status difference comes into play when we have a part-time postdoc. So if a postdoc has elected to become, part-time, work 50% or 80%, they're likely on a weekly basis to earn less than the standard and now have to be classified as non-exempt. So we did an initial analysis of our current postdocs. We only have 30 on our campus that fall into that category. We have let the dean's offices know to convert them. We're going through a biweekly conversion effective November 20th. So some of these postdocs may not even know they're being converted yet. We're trying to get that word out. I think we have a deadline of this Friday by getting that into our payroll system. So that's a change. So any postdocs part-time from here on out have to be biweekly, paid hourly, reporting hours. The difference in their contract is that they will earn straight time until 40 hours of the week. And then beyond 40 hours, they will earn comp time. So they will not earn or get paid overtime. So it'll be comp time. So it shouldn't have a huge effect on your budgets. I say that being a personnel person and not an accounting person. So I don't know if there are any other things. If they have a concurrent appointment, so they are a lecturer and a postdoc, then they will remain exempt. If they have another appointment at another UC and a postdoc, they will remain exempt. So it's truly just a small population of part-time postdocs that will be affected by this. Does that answer some questions? All right. Do you guys have questions?
How many postdocs do we have? That 30 is.
We have about 980, I think, postdocs.
That's small person.
Yeah. Overall, I think there's, I don't remember how many there are UC-wide. I think 6,000 or more. Mm-hmm. So we have a good chunk of the 10 campuses. And these obviously the contract and the standards affect all our postdocs across all the campuses.
It sounds like a fairly detailed analysis that's been done of the impact on the postdocs. Are you aware, I know this wouldn't be your area, but if you've been in those meetings, you may be aware of other titles that are affected by this and how many people might be involved?
Right, so I'm partnering with academic affairs and HR and payroll to deal with all of those. And I would think the bulk of them really are academic affairs. I think junior specialists, some SRAs, some staff are all converting. And I know that academic affairs put out a list to the affected dean's offices to make those changes at the same time I did, which was last Thursday. I think HR is planning to get it out today. So you'll see that hopefully coming out. We're holding office hours, virtual office hours with a ready talk number for anybody who's concerned or has questions about that. I think we published those and they're on Academic Affairs website and on the Grad Studies website. I can't remember when the next, I'm sure there's one today in the afternoon. We're trying to do one each day in the afternoon. You can call in. We'll field questions about that. So it is a large population, much larger population in the academics and in the staff than postdocs right now. We thought there would be a larger postdoc population, but because of the new contract and the new salary threshold, most of our postdocs are going to remain exempt.
Have we gotten those notices?
No, I don't think so.
Do what?
It'd be useful for us to try to get them sent out. Research those.
No, that's a good point. Yeah.
For the 30 affected postdocs? Or
Well,
for the
all
whole
these-
group?
All these notices that have gone out from
Right.
campus, could you
Oh,
have them sent to
sure.
Ahmad so we can send them out to the research community?
yeah,
Just in case there might be some people
right. If you look at academic affairs,
that
we've
otherwise find out.
put up a whole web page of resources, toolkits, just general Q&A, a lot of
Maybe that's
information.
what we can-
We can.
I'll send it to you.
Help you with distribution of that.
Yeah,
Send it to us.
I will send that to you. So,
Any questions from here or online? I don't see anything coming online.
yeah, when you asked me to come, I thought, well, it's going to be kind of a letdown because we've taken care of most everything. So hopefully all the questions are answered by the new contract. And there'll be more information about the changes that are going to take place over the new contract the next few weeks. Also, let's see, right after Thanksgiving on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we'll be doing new postdoctoral contract training with highlights for administrators and faculty and staff about the changes that are in effect in the new contract. So, yay, put that on your calendar.
Thank you. Okay.
All right.
Mike, do you want to? Thank you very much.
You're
So
welcome.
if you don't mind, if you stick around a little
Sure.
bit, just
See
in
if there are
case
any other
questions come
questions.
in from online too. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Tracy. And if you do have questions that come up, as Ahmad said, Tracy will be here for a little while and we can get those answered. Other things we have, we have, again, a number of deadlines coming up this month. Of course, the standard NIH deadlines, the 5th in the middle of the month. We've got a number of NSF deadlines. I'm going to give you the detail that Chris and Bridget usually give you. You're aware of what the dates are for the ones you're applying for. The earlier you can get your proposals in, the better. As you know, we have been short-staffed. We have filled some of those openings, but those people are not here yet. So we're still effectively short-staffed and will be for some period of time until those people get up to speed. It's been helpful. You have responded over the past few weeks, and I can see the difference in we're getting a little more lead time on average. We still have late ones come in, and that happens. But keep up the good work there. It's very helpful to us to get the things in a little bit earlier than the day of or the day before or a couple days before the proposals are due. So we've got time to do the work that we need to do on them. I think there was one other topic I was going to talk about. The Cayuse implementation. We are initiating some user group meetings to get input from the campus community. Some of you are probably involved with that, but we have representatives from each of the colleges across campus to provide input to us on the configuration for that software. And we don't have a firm date for the software implementation at this point, but it'll be sometime in the spring is my guess at this point at the rate we're moving. And if we ask any of you to participate in that, we really appreciate your participation. We can't have everybody participate in it because we would never get it done if we tried to get input from everybody. But we have asked your higher level people in your colleges to nominate individuals, and we've reached out to those individuals to involve them in the process. And when they can't do it, they've suggested somebody else. And so everybody's going to be represented. Are there any questions you want to ask about anything? Okay.
Did you want to say something?
That's a first.
Maybe later.
Yeah.
Thank you. Any updates from accounting? Any part of accounting? I know James is not here. Yes, come on. Tammy is coming here from accounting. Thank you, Tammy.
So I'm here just to give you an effort reporting update. The end of the cycle is coming up, and Deborah Henn will be putting some critical dates on our website next week, so please be looking for that. I believe the 24th was the deadline for putting in minimum effort into the system, and even though we're not following the 1%, 2% minimum requirement as we used to, we are still looking for effort on research agreements, either it being directly charged or in the cost sharing system. So if you haven't had a chance to do that, please do so. ERS coordinators be looking for some critical dates coming up. You'll be notified. And I think there was one more thing. They're hoping that the effort reports will be out the second week in November. Any questions on that? If you have any further questions, you can contact Deborah Henn. She'll be in the office at the end of the week.
So also for accounting, I was just going to give a brief update on the single audit that we are currently involved in. So PwC was on site the last part of September. They were here for roughly 3 weeks, and they have gone back, and they are in the testing phase right now. So one of the things that we have noticed as we have gone through this audit, there's an increased focus on controls, not only in the definition of the controls, but in testing them. So they've taken probably a larger volume of samples this year. So thanks to everyone who has assisted so far. Francisco's taken the lead on this, and there are still some test samples to be probably that are still in the pipeline. So any help we get when we reach out to you is greatly appreciated. And also one other update we were going to give for accounting is our staffing. So we've, like SPO, we've been short-staffed for the last couple of months. We're in a hiring phase right now, so we look to hopefully have those positions. Tammy and Francisco have been interviewing positions, so hope to have most of those filled in by the end of this calendar year. Any questions for accounting? Nope. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mike, you are quiet there. Any updates on indirect or anything like that? You want to come on over and say something? No? Come on over.
Say hi.
Okay. Mike is saying hi.
Actually, I did something. A couple things potentially with the uniform guidance soon. Is that there's going to put some corrections into the Federal Register. That's going to open up potentially some more rules and comments. So that should be published. They thought on Friday, and it's still thinking today. So whatever. So it's OMB has actually issued some changes to the Federal Register. It's just got to get through all those channels to get published. It'll be a 60-day comment period. So that should go out. We'll probably put it on the list there that it's out there. There's going to be potential good rule changes as I was in meetings with OMB last week, and they said you should be happy. That's a government speak. So that's their view. They thought that a lot of things they wrote into the uniform guidance would make us happy. That really didn't. So from their perspective, they think they've tried to clean up a couple of the major issues. They kind of mentioned a couple of areas for the procurement standards, potentially the safe harbor on subrecipients for other universities or direct recipients of federal awards, and a few other spots. And then they're still open for more technical corrections. So OMB is still working with the university community. So hopefully, and they also said they're going to extend the procurement standards for a whole nother year to 19 until they can figure out based on this additional publication that should be out in the next couple of days. So we'll probably send out some more information once it actually goes public, so that no one's actually seen what they wrote outside of the federal government. So I guess UC Path, we're still looking at how fringe benefit rates are going to go with that. They're going through the pilot right now with UCLA. I'll let you guys know more when they get that submitted. They're about to submit that to the government and see how those charges will flow through on their groupings and how they're going to translate to ours, but will be a year and a half or more. So we'll still continue with ours for one more year, and then we'll be moving to UC Path. F&A rate calculations moving along. But again, hopefully we won't have a long provisional, but the region, the San Francisco region is having 3 retirements before now in December. So there's 3 less people to do the same amount of work or more. And they're not really hiring, or they're not able to hire people in the San Francisco region right now. So government's kind of an interesting animal to be working with these days. So I don't think I have any other questions. If anyone has questions for costing or research, or available. So, but hopefully we get some good news on the uniform guidance to help some of our administrative costs and just effort that we have to put into some of the compliance areas.
Okay, thank you. Well, it's your time. Anything else you want to talk about? I don't see anything online either yet. It's going to be a short meeting. I saw Bridget coming in and she left. There she is. She's hiding. Did you, I mean, Mike gave a general update on the times and whatever the deadlines. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
No.
Okay. She doesn't want to talk about anything else. She has a bad cold.
Yeah.
That's why. Okay. Well, there's nothing else. Nothing from sponsored programs. I don't think there's any update from tech transfer, and I haven't seen anything from IOB either. I guess we are done. Thank you.